Hey everyone, welcome to my latest video. In this I'm going to be taking you through a contour line drawing I did of some chestnut tree leaves. So a contour line drawing is where you're focusing on the lines of the drawing over everything else. And you're following the edge of whatever it is you're drawing very carefully. And it's a lot about the quality of the line. And I learned to draw using contour lines. And there's an exercise I did years ago when I took life drawing, where you kind of do blind contour drawings, where you're trying to connect your hand or whatever it is you're drawing with to what you're seeing. So you're following the edge of the subject you're drawing, and you're not really paying attention to anything else. And it's all about connecting that, in this case, pen to the outlines to what you're seeing. And I find it just a very meditative, relaxing exercise. And it can be done quite loosely. And so I had about half an hour to myself last weekend, and I didn't want to think too hard, bite off a drawing that was too difficult for that time frame. So I like to just sort of zone out, observe, and put together a drawing. And so I wanted to paint in a way that was sort of analogous to contour line that's very loose and free. And I'd been reading and looking at videos about painting greens with watercolor. And a lot of people are saying, don't use pre-mixed greens. You're going to get weird effects, or they look off. But I have this kit with a variety of colors, and there are 3 pre-mixed greens. So I wanted to sort of just use them a bit more, understand how they work. And so I'm mixing in some yellows with them, some blues, and then I've got lots of orange and reds ready to stamp in while the paint is still wet. And for this I wanted to work wet on dry, so I'm using the wet brush. The paper I haven't wet at all. And I kind of go in way too heavy for the first part, but it's just about experimenting and playing around. And they're getting some more interesting texture with a bit of a drier brush. So trying to do just all kinds of mark making. I'm using a pretty big mop brush relative to the size of the sketchbook. I do like this mop. I think it's real fur, and I do like, or hair rather, and I do like the way it works. And I guess I'd consider this more of an exercise than a finished drawing. I'm really trying to just have a little bit of fun and create something that I like to look at in the end as well. So I went with a much lighter wash there than the initial wash I did at that first leaf, and then sort of stamping in a little bit more pigment, and then you get that wet on wet effect. And I didn't think about this at the time. I wish I wasn't wearing shorts this day, but you get a good view of my hairy legs. And now adding some browns and some reds. into the green paint while it's still wet. And then just finishing off with some really saturated yellow and orange strokes. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining on my little experiment here. And yes, final splashes. And thank you so much.